and welcome to another episode of AndersMill Knits. I'm your host, Emily, and our co-host is Watson. He's over here on the couch. And you can find me on Instagram as akamillie907 and on Ravelry as akamillie. We have an audio podcast called Little Cabin Knits, and you can find that on all the major streaming RSS feeds that out there. I think that's what they call it. I'd love for you to leave a review of the audio podcast on Stitcher Radio or Stitcher, whatever it's called, Stitcher Premium, Stitcher, and on the Apple Podcast Network, which is the purple icon if you're an Apple user. And on Ravelry, we also have two groups on there. One is AndersMill Knits, in which I post occasionally little blurbs or chatter threads for Little Cabin Knits as well as AndersMill Knits if there's something that we'd like to discuss more on there. It doesn't happen too often, you know, it's kind of a silent group. Things will be a-changing though, just wait for it. And also we have our 24 Days of Cheer group, which we are currently doing a year-long knit along for 12 gift knit socks. And so we'll talk more about that as well. For the month of March, our featured designer is the Kitchen Sink Shop, and she has lovely, lovely designs. I am currently knitting on one, and I downloaded another one and bought another one of hers because I was just like, I'm simply loving the socks that I'm knitting on now, and so makes me want to knit more of them, you know. So I think that's about the amount of Administrati, except for to announce the winners of the 2 skeins of yarn. H. Holmes I've already sent out. She won the prize for the reviews and the hashtag giveaway for Little Cabin Knits and AndersMill Knits. She won the Alaska Yarn Company skein of yarn, Raspberry Schwapps, and we have one more. LM Cole. I know who you are. We're friends on Instagram. We talk on Instagram. I'll post it at the bottom. If you'll get in contact me via Instagram, because I always have access to Instagram, well, not always, but most of the time. And it notifies me when I get a message there. I don't get notifications when I have messages on Ravelry. So it's harder for me to keep up with that because at the moment I only have true access to the internet when I'm at work, and when I'm at work I am just busting my butt, you know. Today was another one of those. So winner, please, I think your name is Laura. Oh my gosh, I'm terrible. Forget that I'm trying to remember people's names. I can barely remember my own. In fact, today I had a client that I've been seeing for over 6 months, and I couldn't remember their first name for the life of me. I just sat there. I was just like, seriously? My pillow's not showing the pretty side. Hold on. There we go. So it's not you, it's me. It's not you, it's me, okay? But that's about it. We had 2 wonderful winners. Thank you everyone who participated in the chatter thread for the February month. And then, so we're going to have another giveaway in, let's see, so just March, April, May. We're going to have another giveaway for the 12 gift knit socks in May. So go on, so just be aware of that as well. And I think I might do things a little bit differently for that. I think that's about it for the administrative piece. So let's do our weekend review, shall we? It has been a week. I announced this on Little Cabin Knits. I am moving back home to Anchorage at the end of next week. Not this one, but next week. I'm going to move in with my boyfriend, and I am very blessed. I have a job all lined up. So my last day here in Kenai will be the 20th, and my first day of my new job will be the 23rd. So I literally have like 2.5 days, or just really 2 days, or less to move from Kenai to Anchorage. So with that in mind, my parents are coming. Hopefully they're coming on Friday to load up, to get a load up in their truck and haul it back for me. I am so blessed because not only did I let my landlord know that I was moving, but they were just so kind, and we have a renter already, and not just a renter, but somebody, because it's so difficult to find furniture that fits in this cabin, and I've done such a good job. She wants all my furniture, my bed, my couch, my island table. She wants it all. So, you know, I feel so blessed because that relieves so much pressure off of me. So it's just great. And so I don't know, things have just been working out, you know? It worked out to come down here to Kenai so well. Like, okay, I had to work for it. Just like I'm having to work for it to move back to Anchorage. But honestly speaking, it's just working out. And I know that's because this is also what I'm supposed to do right now. I'm not thrilled about the idea of living in a condo, especially after living in my woods with my cabin and everything. And I was literally just on a walk with my pup Watson here, and I was on the phone with my love Jeremy the whole time, and we were talking, and 3 cars ran across, 3 cars the whole time, and this is because this is coming home time. You know, so, well, it is 6:30 now. Okay, so yeah, but it's still coming home time. And I was telling him that I am really going to miss that. And he like scared the bejesus out of me, because he's like, oh yeah, because you're going to go from that to, we've got sirens that go past a lot of times and people having parties out in the parking lot during the summertime. And I'm just like, can I change my mind? Can I stay here? And you know, my clients have been so wonderful, and I'm preparing them to be taken on, some of them to be taken on by other therapists. And then my coworkers have been so kind as well, and continuously coming up to me and telling me about things that they've appreciated about me and that they're gonna miss me. And I just feel so blessed, you know? It's just so blessed. But at the same time, I know this is the right move. So the last couple of weeks have just been solely concentrated on that and some health things that I've got going on. Tomorrow I go in for some more tests, and we shall hopefully see what that will bring. Fingers crossed, nothing big. So, but you know, I'm prepared if it's not. So there you go. So that's been my week in review. I've also spent a lot of time knitting, which we shall now see in my case notes, because I have not 1, but 2 finished objects, and one is huge. It is my on the market square, or market bag, something shawl. I'll put it at the bottom right here if I can remember. You know, that's just a lot more editing. But I love this. If you can see, it's just so beautiful. Oh, I've got it backwards for you. It's just so beautiful. And I staved off putting this in the mail until today because I wanted to show you guys before I sent it off to its recipient, which is one of my best friends. And she's down in Ohio. So there you go. So the colorways in this is the psychedelic Love is Love colorway from the Knitted Wit down in Portland, and then the black, which I guess is the main color, but to me the Love is Love is so bright that that's really the main color. That's the color that you see. But the black is by Madeline Tosh. It's their single ply, and I think it's just called Black. I don't know, I lost the tag. But I love this. I'm actually thinking about knitting this again for myself in other colorways, obviously, because I use pretty much all of it on this. So for blocking, I didn't have the space outside in my cabin outside of using my my bed to block this on as being a large enough space, and I will not use pins on my bed because I'm always afraid that if I were to do that, I would lose a pin in the bed and then my bare bum or something would find it later, and I just don't want that. I don't want that agony. So I soaked it, I washed it, soaked it, and then I wrung it out really well, and then I just laid it out on the bed and I just kind of stretched it into the shape that I wanted, and then I just left it. I didn't pin it, nothing. And it worked beautifully for my yarn overs and things like that. Like everything just bloomed. Nothing is distorted or out of shape, which I sometimes have a tendency to do when I'm blocking. I'm not the greatest at blocking. I should probably take one of those classes about it, really. And it just, there's that beautiful curl. I love that curl. It's just gorgeous. It did pool some when I did the yarn over section up here, but I'm okay with it. I hope Anna will be too, you know. So I loved it so much that I just had to wear it some. So those of you who follow me on Instagram saw me actually wearing this a bit last week. So I couldn't resist wearing it some. It's so soft and so warm. It's just great, and it's so cold here. So that's my finished object. Well, one of my finished objects. There you go. That's a good shot. Maybe I'll try and get this for my cover shot. So there's that. Now the second finished object I have are my socks by my Guil de Fra. And that's probably what I'm going to call them on Ravelry. My Guil de Fra 100% cotton yarn. Italiano yarn. I love these. I finished these up this week. These have been my work socks, as in like my at work knitting, and my, what am I gonna say? Brainless knitting, I guess you can say, for when I'm in my meetings. I didn't intend to get them to match up as far as the stripes. Can you see? But for the most part, there's some areas, like for the heel and stuff, that there's some, but for the most part, it really matches up well. Like, I did not try at all. I literally cast off the first one, which is this one. I cast off the first one and I didn't even maneuver any of the yarn. I just immediately started casting on the second one, and there you go. In fact, I'm gonna try these on right now because I haven't actually tried these on. So these had kind of a mishap this last week. I had them in my car and I was driving to Anchorage, and I had a, ooh, that feels good. I had a chai tea latte and I lost it when I was trying to put it in my cup holder, and it spilled all over the side, the passenger seat portion, not in the seat, but down in the wheel, the feet area. And that's where this bag was, so it got all over the bag, got inside. That looks pretty good. Yeah! Can you see the side? And so the yarn got all messed up, all filthy. The bag got filthy. The bag was easily rectified. I just threw that in the washer. But the yarn, I just did not want to unwind the skein and wash it. So I didn't. I just went on. After they dried, I just carried on knitting. And things were a bit crunchy. You know, but it didn't stink of milk, so that was good. And I just continued knitting and on it, and I got past the crunchy bit and didn't bother me after that. So, but then when I did, I hand washed them not last night, the night before last, or was it last night? No, it was last night. I hand washed them pretty good. I used regular detergent, like washing detergent, but I hand washed it. This was just something I just did on the fly because I've never had 100% cotton socks, and I didn't have enough bandwidth to look up to see how to do it, so I just kind of went on the fly. But then I did dry them on low in my dryer, and they turned out great. Well, for the most 90% dry in the dryer, and then I took them out to finish the drying process in front of the heater, and that's how I did that. And they turned out great. There's no crunchiness. I think I got them pretty darn clean, and they are soft, soft, soft. I am excited about this. There you go. Yeah, the stripes aren't bad. They pretty much match. So there's my Gilderfra socks. And that is the rest of my case notes. So, in session, for a minute there, I was getting my two podcasts mixed up and I was about to call it something else. In session, I Kitchener closed the toe on my February sock from, oh yeah, there we go. Wild Heart from the Crazy Sock Lady, or Kay. So that's the sock I was working on for February. And because of the twisted stitching, I slowed down because it really hurts my elbow. And so finally, I Kitchener closed the toe on the first sock. And that's the first sock completely done, and I love it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, so gorgeous. And then I immediately cast on the second sock and got a good portion of the twisted ribbing done. Now this is 64 stitches, and I didn't try these socks on, but I'm pretty sure that they're gonna fit nicely on my mom. So I got, let's see, I would say I got a little, about 3/4 maybe done of the ribbing, or maybe half. It's all over the place here. Here we go. There. About 3/4 of the ribbing done. So I was doing pretty good. However, then my arm started burning and I had to put it down again. It's just, I think it's just the nature of how you're twisting your arm when you're doing the twisted stitches. It just doesn't agree with me. But I've got that on the go. Then for the month of March, I picked the Wish You Were Here socks from the kitchen sink sock, the kitchen sink shop on Ravelry and Instagram, and I love these socks. Love, love, love these socks. This is one of her free ones. She's got a couple free patterns, and these are just flying off my needles. Like, I can't even tell you how fast. Like, I knit this in less than a week, and I wasn't even concentrating or trying to knit this in less than a week. It just literally flew off my needles. I cast these on last Saturday. Not this Saturday, but, well, I cast these on Sunday of, like, the second day in March. And I finished this first sock yesterday. And I've already cast on the second sock, because that's the same rule. As soon as you cast off the first sock, you cast on the second sock. You don't give yourself time to think about it, because then if you think about it, you won't do it. And I'm working on the ribbing on that one as well. And obviously this is going a lot easier because it's not twisted rib. Let's see where I'm at on the ribbing here. Oh, I think I've maybe just got about 1 or 2 more rows. I could count the rows, but you know, I never really do. I just hold things up. I'm like, yeah, that looks about right. And I just move on. But I just love the patterning on these socks is so beautiful. I'm just in love with it. And it just goes down one side, and she has the pattern written out for a left sock and a right sock. And I believe I just finished, yeah, I'm working on I just finished the right sock. So now I'm going to be working on the left sock, obviously. So I'm really excited about that. And I started the toe during a meeting at work, and I didn't have, obviously, my stitch markers with me, so I just grabbed a paper clip to mark down where my toe starts. And I think my toe is a little long. I don't know why. Also, I think I might not have Kitchener. I had less stitches on the needle. I went down to 10 stitches. I wonder why I did that. I usually have like 14 stitches and I Kitchener it till closed. But on this one I did 10. I'm not really sure why I did that. But it's working. And this is also in a rusted stitch bag, just like my February socks are. So there you go. Yeah, the rusted stitch. Sorry, I was thinking hot pink socks or rusted stitch. So these are 2 of her bags that she makes. This is one of her sweater bags. Not sweater as in large sweater bags, but sweater as in she recycled a sweater that she bought from like a secondhand store, and she made it into a bag, which I love. I love her bags. One last thing is my Palisades Cove cardigan. I couldn't think of the name. And I finished one sleeve. I picked this up and I was able to finish one sleeve, and it's 3/4 length with the slit in the sleeve. So this one hits me just perfect. It's about right here, in which this is my elbow. So it's about right at my elbow unblocked. So I figured blocked, it'll be just a little bit lower. And so that's absolutely perfect. And I am almost done with the second sleeve. I'm just about at the part where I need to start the ribbing. I'm separating for the ribbing on that one. And then all I need to do is pick up for the rolled collar and I will be done. Like, that will be super simple because I have nothing to do on the band down here. It's just literally this rolled collar. So I wanted this to be done, but I was having so much fun with my socks. And the Gideon method has been working for me. But at the same time, I was just so excited about my socks. I didn't get my sweater done. But I am really excited about this. Really excited. So, oh, did I mention what yarn I'm using for my socks? I'm not going to mention what yarn I'm using for my sweater because that would just take forever and bringing all that out. But just know that it's a whole bunch of fingering weight yarn held double with a lace weight yarn that I have. So let's see. The March socks I'm knitting on Coral Reef from, I think this is Coral Reef, or maybe it's just called, no, it's just called Reef, from Peggy Jane Fibers. And I love this colorway. I have knit this into multiple projects and pulled it out of every single one I've tried to use it in because I just didn't like the vibe I was getting and from that, and I just loved the yarn so much I wasn't willing to compromise. Well, when I saw these socks, the Wish You Were Here socks, I just knew that they would work perfectly together, at least in my head, and I was right. Just so you know, I was right. Oh, my hair is such a mess. So there's that. And then my February socks, I am knitting, oh, keep pulling that one. My February socks, I am knitting out of, if I can find the yarn band, the Bad Sheep company. They are out of Fairbanks area. And this is called Ruby, R-O-O-I-B-O-S-T. Isn't it supposed to be Rubios? B-I-O-S? Is that why I'm having such a hard time saying this? I don't know. I could be wrong because I don't drink that tea. I'm not really a tea drinker. The only tea I really drink is iced chai tea lattes. So... but that is what I have on the needles. I'm super excited about that. These are my last 2 colors that I'm holding together. And that's why I've got, like, overall, I've got still cohesion with all of my colorways, is because of my lace weight that I'm holding with it. So that is working out for me very well. I love this. And it's almost making a DK weight, but not. And so the yarn, it's not a heavy sweater is what I'm trying to say. So I really love that as well. And that is what I have in session. Now, the last thing I'm going to talk about is some purchases that I made, because I had the goal of not buying anything until July as far as yarn's concerned, and I fell down on that. Hold on one second. I fell down hard. I bought 6 skeins of yarn. All from this lady on Etsy. Natalia Novak. She's in Wisconsin. And I've just been kind of frustrated because I keep pulling out these superwash wools, and I want to knit with 100% wool for people. And so this, she had a whole bunch of it, of different kinds of European wool. So I just bought 6 of them and didn't spend very much money at all, really. She has great prices. So this first one is Super Garn. It's Sport and Strumpfwolle wool. And this is the colorway. Now, I'm thinking this might be superwash wool. If I'm reading my German right, this might be superwash wool. 75% Sherwool, yeah, superwash. I'm looking for non-superwash wool, and what do I get? Superwash. But I didn't know that when I bought it. I thought it was regular wool. But also, I do love the colorway. I really do. Look at those colors. It's gonna look like a garden. Then I got from them as well this colorway, which is colorway 4478. And that is that one. That one's obviously for Jeremy. And then I got, now this I know is regular wool. 100 grams of wool. Is it superwash as well? No, 75% wool and 25% polyamide. And this colorway is 2562. And Jeremy does love blue, and he loves blue socks, so this will probably be Jeremy's socks. Or I will use this for heels and toes on things. Then I got a perfect thing. Oh, no, wait, is this not? No, this is from Katja. Symmetric Helsinki Sock Lovers. And this is 75% wool and 25% polyamide. And I think it's still that perfect thing. Oh, no, there's just yellow in the colorway. And it's colorway 23371. Is that right? No, it's colorway 52. The other number was the lot, the dye lot. I love that color. Then I got also from Super Garnet. I just obviously bought a whole bunch of superwash wool. This one's also for Jeremy. I didn't mean to, people. I didn't mean to. That's the colorway, if you can see it right there, which is really spot on. The band, what's on the band is really spot on to what's in the skein. And the last one, here it is. My Arnie and Carlos Regia Perfect Way. And it's Norland, and the colorway is 06822. And it's just pretty simple, but I really liked it. And this one is, what is this one? 100 grams, 420 meters. Here it is, I think. Wool machine. Well, for heaven's sakes, where is the makeup? 75% virgin wool. There we go. And 25% polyamide. You know, I couldn't figure it out because it's literally just written as a paragraph. Hey, yay. So I got all of those for me, for my family, what have you. I'm gonna for Jeremy. You know, I'm just gonna knit it up, baby. Knit it up. So that's what I purchased. Pretty excited about it. Gonna cast them on because I always need to have a plain sock on the needle for work time. And my next plain sock that I'm gonna cast on probably tomorrow is, I don't think I showed this, but I have this skein of yarn from Fiber Nymph Dye Works. It's called Star Trekkie, and it's all the different colors of the uniforms. And so I'm gonna knit this up for Jeremy. It's gonna need to have contrasting toes and contrasting toes, heels, and probably contrasting cuff so that I can make it stretch out far enough for his big feet. Size 14, I think. Is it 13 or 14 feet? But I have the needles. I've got everything in here that I need. And I am just gonna cast this bad boy on tomorrow. And this is in my Zigzag Stitches bag. I don't know if they're still making bags, but I love this bag. So I'm gonna cast that on, and that will be my next blank sock to be having on the go, because I am just rolling through the on the needles, my whips, and I'm doing a great job of it, and it is just inspiring me no end. I just love it. I'm also going to cast on a sweater out, a shawl out of some Aran Weight natural wool that I found at my parents' house this weekend. I know it's mine. My little nieces and I had some really fun times. I still have some stuff at my parents' house, not very much, just a little. And we were going through this tote, and it had a whole bunch of it had about 5, no, maybe not that many, bundles for sweaters. And so I just gave all those bundles to my one niece, who's a big knitter now. And then I found this Aran Weight natural wool that I had got in Oregon, and I totally forgotten about it. And I was like, dude, I want an Aran Weight shawl. And so I'm going to be casting that on next for the next project, that besides from the socks that I cast on. I don't have it with me. It's back in Anchorage, so I'm not looking to cast it on until probably after I move home to Anchorage. But that's going to be my next thing. And I don't know what pattern I'm going to use either. I have no idea. In my head, one of those Shetland designs. I don't know, maybe. But there's just so many options out there. I'm so excited about that. So, yeah, that's going to be the next thing on the needles. So thank you guys. This seems like it went really fast. Yeah, maybe just a half an hour or so. Man, I'm just so ramped up and excited about things. It should have taken longer to get through these things, but yeah, I'm on a roll, and I'm having such a great time. My life seems to be just going so well, so I might be talking pretty fast. Maybe that's why it went by so fast. But I'm just so happy to be here with you guys. Thank you so much for joining Watson and me on this beautiful evening. Hello, Watson. Out in the field where the orchid flies. And I just want to remind you guys to knit what you love and love what you knit.